post it later. And I will show you what the presentation is. Oh, let me share my screen here. I just posted in the team page so that in case people didn't remember, whatever. Okay, so this is the business opportunity presentation that I had. And so like I would go through and I would just be like, hey, welcome. Thanks for your interest in joining our team. And I would usually, because it was small enough, I would actually make it a point to be like, hi, like, what's your name? And like, try to like connect with them a little bit, like on a personal level. And then pretty much like I would go through my story. So I would, here's what will be covered in this presentation. My story from burned out nurse anesthetist to successful business owner, who our team is, the possibilities, the company, the products, earning potential, additional benefits like the free trips, how they get started, what to expect from our team training. And that's probably the part that we're going to have to really work on. Cause like before I was doing these like monthly coach, getting started coach like trainings that nobody would ever do them. And I listened to a really good call. I listened to the National Wake Up Call with the chick who her training was awesome. It was so simple. I'm going to listen to that call again. I'm going to take notes, and I was planning to like start doing that with my new coaches when I bring them on board. Cause basically, like, to make a long story short, what she would do is she would just put all of our new coaches into a pod, and she would just into a Facebook pod, like into a like message thread, and she would just be messaging in there every day. And the thing that she would get her brand new coaches to focus on the most, because she's bringing people in that haven't been using the products before, is to get them launched in their own personal journey and get them sharing that on social media, because obviously that's so powerful. And she, like, the first month will really just be like focusing on that, and then naturally they would have people asking them, for one, and for two, to like go to their best friends and say like, come be my accountability buddy with me, which makes so much more sense than trying to teach someone how to post correctly on social media and to attract new people. And that's what you did. You went, Kevin Jensen, my upline, always says that there's a diamond-sized business in the people that the people that you already know. You have a diamond-sized business. So I'll listen to that call again, but like, that's like a side note. So anyway, and then the success stories was like, I would have, I would ask 2 or 3 coaches if they would be willing to share, and try to keep it at like 5 minutes. Cause I know sometimes when we get started talking about our story, we get all excited and we get like off on tangents, and those would really be the most powerful because people could connect with other people's stories besides mine. All right, so here's a little bit about my story. I've been a coach since July 2012. The reason I named our team Team Aloha is because Aloha literally means breath in your face, and that is what our mission is, to breathe life into people on the planet. I'm a 2-time elite. Obviously, I can change this picture. It's an old picture. 2-time elite. We're a 2-time elite team, meaning that we've been in the top 0.01% of the company. My personal business is a 6-star diamond and a 1-star in my second business center. I've been a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend, meaning that I've helped at least 5 new people get started every month with a package for 24 consecutive months in the past. I will have to renew this. I'm no longer a part of the Market Council. I've built this into a 6-figure business. I'm an animal lover. I'll probably have to fix some of these things, because I'll take that out. Part-time nurse anesthetist, and why I got started in the first place was freedom over my time for myself and then others. And then obviously whenever you talk about income, you always have to have the Beachbody income disclaimer. So Georgia, what we're talking about doing is doing a sneak peek into coaching for like potential people that are interested in coaching, and making it open to everybody in our downline in March. So we'd like have some time to like plan it and be able to invite people to it. We used to do these, I don't know if you ever were on one, but and they used to be really good at what like John and I were talking about, is like, I can recruit a coach or whatever, no problem. But then what happens when I bring them on board? They don't know how to recruit a coach, but I can help them. So that's why they were really effective, because I was the one sharing the story and like my belief in the business and the success that I've had has has led me to have confidence in what I'm sharing, and then that confidence gets instilled into, you know, the coaches. So we're going to start going back to that and like planning our first one. So this is the old business opportunity presentation. I just wanted to go through it and see like, what are we missing, how can we fix this, how can we make it better, and like make it more, you know, work for our team. All right, so I talked about the fact that I like had no skills to be successful at this business. I wasn't good at leadership. I didn't have an upline coach that was supporting me. I didn't have an upline coach that was building coaches underneath me. I had no formal business education. I was working full time. I was in a relationship at the time. He had a daughter that was living with us. We had a dog. So I was very busy. I had very limited time and other responsibilities. Before Beachbody, pretty much I was just going through the motions, living life as a, you know, like a robot, like going to work during the week, you know, waking up early, being delivering anesthesia all the time, not feeling like I had a passion for my job, not feeling like my life was going in any certain direction, living my life by default. I didn't feel like I was impacting anybody else in any particular way besides like the patients that I was putting to sleep for surgery. I wasn't doing any personal development. It was not a part of my life. I literally felt trapped in my job, like just dying to find something to get me out of it, out of working full time. Like I said, I had no leadership skills. I was exhausted all the time. I was like always looking forward to the weekends, just trying to get through the week. I didn't really love my body. I was very insecure. I was 25 pounds overweight and my skin was a mess just from being like in the operating room all the time. I was like having breakouts everywhere from all the stress of being a full-time CRNA. So how I got started is a friend of mine started me with the Insanity program. It sat on my shelf for 6 months collecting dust because I was finishing up my master's. Once I finally started it, I lost 25 pounds. I actually was on the infomercial for my results. And so I naturally started talking about my excitement about the program, and people were asking me how I was losing weight. And so I started signing them up for Insanity even before I was coaching. And that to me was like the easiest way for me to really get people started, is it was just a natural progression of what I was already doing. I personally stopped and started the business many, many times. I like probably only earned like $800 in my first 6 months. I didn't know what I was doing. But eventually that led to, you know, me building a multi six-figure income. Like I said, I had no upline support, and I developed a training program based on what I didn't have for me. But we can change that too, because our training program is just different. I did replace my salary and resign from being a full-time CRNA, and I feel like this business has given me so much more purpose than what I was doing as a CRNA, because I'm actually helping people, you know, work on disease prevention versus just treating it in the operating room. Now I live life by my design. I work 2 days a week in the operating room. The rest of the time I work from home. I'm impacting people's lives on a regular basis, even if they're not signing up with me, just by the things that I'm sharing on social media and by being consistent in my stories and whatnot. I have a passion for what I do. I do personal development every single day. I'm listening to podcasts in my car when I'm driving, I'm reading, I'm, you know, just an absorber of information. And now I have this balance between like Beachbody and CRNA. At one point we did have hundreds of team. I don't know how many coaches we have on our team, probably still have hundreds. I feel energetic. Every day to me is like, sometimes I forget what day it is because I'm like, shoot, I've been off for like a week. I love my body. I'm very confident with who I am. I've kept that 25 pounds off, and, you know, I actually look younger now than I did before. So that's my personal story. Who we are as a team is we're a team of like a family of men and women that drink a superfood shake, do a 30-minute workout several times a week, and work on ourselves through personal development. That's it. It's simple. It's just not always easy. We work on becoming the best versions of ourselves so we can inspire others. We're nurses, stay-at-home moms, CRNAs, teachers, medical professionals, working full-time, part-time, and we're literally the same as everybody that's getting on the Zoom to hang out with us. So this was something that I got from like a Lindsay Matway presentation. It talks more about how, you know, people are wanting to make a change. So the performance economy is accelerating, so people aren't getting paid to just hang around anymore. They're getting paid based on performance. Salaries are going away. The median income in the US is declining, and the new part-time 30-hour work week is rising. Technology is increasing so fast and changing the workplace that there's less jobs available, and studies show that 30% of employed people consider their employment a gig with no opportunity for long-term gain. But there are new opportunities. People's minds are opening up to the possibility of building something that is theirs, and that is what we have at our fingertips here with Beachbody. So entering the world of entrepreneurship, like Uber, you can turn your car into a business. Airbnb, you can turn your home into a business. Amazon and eBay, you can turn reselling stuff into a business. Shark Tank was one of the most popular shows, and getting people to start thinking about owning something of their own and being entrepreneurs. And this is very similar to Beachbody, but they don't have the team factor, and all these businesses require a lot more to get started than what is required with Beachbody. Traditional business owners have to pay for their marketing. They have to come up with an investment, a large investment, to be able to open up their business. They have to be able to commit full time. It's not flexible, and they can't just try it and do it when they have the time, like around their already busy schedule. They have to have expertise. They have to hire, talent. They have to have the best people to make their business successful. We already have all that, and that's just paying our basic business service fees is included. They have to provide their own customer support. They have to have their inventory. They have to have regulatory, legal, all those things. They have to cover all of that. And 95% of small businesses fail. 73% of Americans want to start their own business, but they hesitate to take the plunge. And 95% of businesses close their doors within 5 years. So Beachbody is similar to opening up a franchise. But if you were going to open up a 7-Eleven franchise, you'd have to have $30,000 to invest in it. And most of them, end up closing anyway. Closures between 1104 and 1109 is 175. So it's 175 people that invested in a franchise and weren't even able to make it work for them. And most of the time, they don't even start to break even until years 3 to 5. But with the Beachbody solution, we have products and services are provided. The startup cost is simply you investing in what's going to help you become healthy. There's a flexible commitment. You work it around your schedule. It's however much time you want to put in. The training is provided. Every single thing that you want to learn about being successful as a Beachbody coach, you can find by Google, YouTube, your upline, your coach online office. It's all out there. Sales and marketing is all covered by the companies. Customer service provided by the company. Obviously, you still have to do your own customer service with your customers, but if it's related to a product issue, then they're covering that. They manage the inventory. They manage the legal. You have no employees unless you possibly have an assistant, which I do at this point because I just needed help, maintaining everything. So the Beachbody solution is a better way. It's not for everyone, but it's something that could provide a person an income with a lot of flexibility, and it can lead to a full-time income if someone is willing to invest enough time. So there's endless opportunities to have impact. You can impact other people's lives, the lives of their families, by having a way for them to be able to provide additional financial resources for, say they want to put their kids in ballet and they can't afford it because it's like an extra expense and they can't afford it on their regular income, and then Beachbody could be a way for them to be able to provide that for their family. It also creates more accountability for you to stay on track with your health and fitness goals. And as you start building the business and you start building a team and having that residual income, it can lead to more freedom and flexibility in your life. And it allows you a chance to impact the lives of others and leave your mark on this planet. You grow into the best version of yourself through personal development, which is one of our vital behaviors. And there's an extremely low risk. Worst case scenario is you invest in your own health and you get really, really healthy in the best shape of your life and you never help a single person. So before Team Beachbody, which Team Beachbody is the coaching network, these were all the products that were available. So there was like Power 90, and I think for supplements, there was like a vitamins, and that was it. Once Beachbody, Team Beachbody was developed, they just added programs, and they've been innovative, and they just keep adding more and more. There's the performance lines not even on here. We could even add to this graphic because there's a lot has happened since we made this. So there literally is something for everyone. There's, online program. There's the Beachbody on demand digital access. There's there's supplements, there's equipment, literally there's something for everyone, and Beachbody just keeps innovating and creating new things. Shakeology is obviously a big part of what we do, and it's not just a protein shake. It's a superfood nutrition that helps to fill in the gaps in most people's diets. So unless you're literally eating, growing all your own food in your backyard, raising like cows in the pasture and having your own animals and eating them, then you're most likely missing vital nutrients, because from just farm to table, if it takes 10 days from it to get to from the farm to your table, it loses like 50% of the nutrients, like an apple. It doesn't even have it has like 50% of the nutrients that it had when you first plucked that apple from the tree. So what Shakeology does for people is it helps to fill in the gaps in their nutrition and the things that they're missing. Obviously, these programs work if we work them. And the mission of Beachbody is to help people achieve their goals and enjoy healthy, fulfilling lives. So part of it is you working on you and then sharing that with other people. So what makes Team Beachbody unique? Fitness plus nutrition plus, our online accountability community plus being rewarded for your hard work and your results is what ultimately creates that accountability for you to stick with the program long term. And where else do you get paid to get healthy? This is actually old, but 2014 was the year that Beachbody earned $1 billion in revenue, and it's continuing to grow. So here's just some personal, I like to show obviously Beachbody doesn't guarantee any of the levels of success. It's based on each individual's effort, skill, diligence, but this is an example of what can happen when you invest in your business. So personally, this is my first paycheck. I made $29.96, and that was probably from selling one Shakeology to someone. By the time I hit Emerald Coach and was starting to see some team cycle bonuses and some retail commissions, obviously there, you see the fast start bonus is probably getting some challenge packs started. I was earning $341.96, and that's weekly. That was probably a higher week for an Emerald Coach. Obviously, you see I have quite a bit of commissions. As a diamond coach, you start to see that obviously the retail commissions are going up. You're starting to see that I'm earning a little bit more in my team cycle bonuses. So it went from $14 to $54 because now I'm starting to build a team. So I was earning $437.79 weekly. That doesn't mean that was every week, but that was a week. As a 2-star diamond coach, I was able to open up my second business center. Obviously, you see the retail commissions are still pretty high here, and this can be coming from people that are on Shakeology and drinking Shakeology every month and getting their auto ships out. But you see that the team cycle bonuses is where it's really starting to pick up, because now I'm starting to build a coaching team. So as a 2-star diamond, this was probably a high week for me. I earned $851.73. Now that I have my second business center open, you can see this is my first business center on the left. This is my second on the right. So retail commissions are still about the same. I'm making like $350, but as you see, the team bonus is where it's really changed a lot. I'm earning $738 here and $216 over here. So that's like about $1,000 right there in residual income. And that's based on me building the team. So this week was $1,507. That was as a 2-star. As a 5-star diamond, this means that I've developed 5 diamonds in my downline. You see that the retail commissions are starting to go down a little bit now. I'm only making like $150, but you see the team cycle bonuses are almost $2,000, with that. And the matching bonus is a 10% that you get. When you're a diamond coach, you match 10% of whatever team cycle bonuses your coaches earn. So like if I have you, Jonna, earning $14, then I can make $1.40 off your $14 team cycle. So here as a 5-star diamond, this was like the peak of my business. I was making, $2,429 in 1 week. That's what happens when you start building a team. And that's the potential of when you invest into your business every day. Additional benefits of being a coach is you set your own work hours. You get to join our fun online fit tribe, our family where we support you, and you support other people and you start to make friends, and you have women that are, supporting you through your journey and through life. You can focus part-time or full-time, whatever you want. You can build online or in person, whatever works best for you. You get to share your passion and attract like-minded women that want to work on their goals alongside you. Whatever you invest into your business, it gets back to you. You're not investing to build somebody else's business. You're building your own, and you can do whatever you want with it. So if you want to make a 6-figure income, then you're obviously going to have to put in more time, but it's possible. Or if you just want to have a little extra funds to be able to put your daughter in ballet, then that can be possible too. You have the potential to be featured in infomercials. You get to meet and work out with our super trainers like Shaun T and Tony at Summit and at different events once you start to get into the higher levels of coaching. And active and military and spouses can coach for free. So they don't have to pay the initial $39.95 fee, and they don't have to pay the $15.95 a month if they're in the military. You also have the possibility to earn free trips. I've been to Disney, I've been to Dania Point, Grand Cayman, Scottsdale, Cancun, Coronado Bay, Punta Cana. I'm about to go on my second trip here coming up in March, and those were all earned. And, there's a small, I think, like fee to sign up, but then everything else was like all expense paid. So a coach doesn't have to be a fitness expert. They don't have to already be at their goal. They don't have to have experience in sales or be a leader or a business owner. And they don't have to have a ton of time. But what they do have to do is be willing to invite people on this journey with them. They have to commit to their own journey and share that on social media and in their personal life. And they have to commit to personal development, improving themselves so that they can help improve others. And then to join as a coach, there's different options. You can pay the $39.95 coach enrollment fee, but if you sign up with the challenge pack, which gives you your first month supply of Shakeology, and we'd have to change this because this is like when there was DVDs. So we could find a new graphic and change that. But so we could talk about how you can get signed up, or if you're not ready to yet coach, you can just sign up as a customer for now and start focusing on your own personal journey and, get results with the products and make sure that this is something that you love, because it's really hard to try to sell something if you don't believe in it. So the first thing that you have to do is build belief by doing the program yourself. And then I think this I'd probably take out, because this was talking about like what to expect from our team once you're starting to build, once you join as a coach, talking about changing from being a coin-operated mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset, which coin-operated means it's someone that's working for a salary. You clock in, you clock out. Your boss tells you what to do and you do it. Like when I go to anesthesia, I'm in the OR and I do these certain things, and at the end of the day, I'm done. Versus entrepreneurship, you have to have a desire to build something of your own. You have to be willing to invest time and money and energy and passion without having an immediate return, knowing that if you continue to put time and energy into it, that eventually down the road, you will have something like what I've built, where you have a residual income coming in every week, no matter how much time you put in or not. So you have to be willing to believe in the law of the harvest, which the law of the harvest is when you start your business and you start sharing on social media and inviting people to join you, you're planting seeds. And it takes 75 to 90 days for a farmer to harvest the seeds that he plants. So you got to keep watering them. And by watering them, you got to share your personal development. You got to share your personal journey. You got to show them you're being consistent. You have to show up every day on social media so that when they are ready to be harvested in those 75, 90, sometimes 6 months to a year, they see that you're still there and they get ready to sign up with you. And then what to expect from our training, we would have to change all this, because right now, really, it's just mostly like the team page stuff. And then I tag them in, like there's some units in our team page that I tag them in that shows them how to post, and then in the IG Instagram stuff in our team page. And then in the next 24 hours, the person who invited you to this will follow up with you and ask, what did you like most about it? Does Team Beachbody feel like a fit that could help you achieve your goals? And which option appeals to you, coach or customer? And we can change that too. That was just something that was in some of this I pulled from like the Beachbody presentation, because Beachbody actually put out like a business opportunity presentation that was very like general, like anyone could use it. And so I pulled some of it from there, and then I put my personal story in there. So that's pretty much it. And then what I do from there is I would have two coaches, like I said, come on and kind of share their, what's going on with the Zoom? Okay, here we go. Share their story, like do a 5-minute, like quick, here's me, here's how I got started, here's what it's done for me, blah, blah, blah. And then so that people that are on there have the opportunity to connect with other stories. Like if their story isn't similar to mine, then they might connect with Georgia's story, or like Jonna's story, or Sabrina's story, whoever else shares, and then they can see themselves being a part of the team. So that's the presentation. It's old. I know it needs some, and I can send it to you. I know it needs some like updating, but like your first general, I just kind of gave you like a quick, and dirty of it. Do you feel like there's something super missing? Is there something like definitely we need to take that out? Or is there a part you really love? Like definitely keep that in. I mean, we can work on it together. I'm like totally open. I'm not like attached to that being our presentation. That just is the old one.
Yeah, I forgot actually. You sent me that or a version of that like a lot last year, and I created one for myself based on that information, pretty much. So I guess it probably is going to come down to like time, like how long do you want it to be? Because I do think that information there was great, and you like to start off, you being able to give that information is very like impressive. But like, I don't think it should be rushed through.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of.
So I know you were rushing through for our benefit.
Right.
But so I would say that the information there is awesome. I want to go back and re-look at it again, so you'll send it out and we can like review it and see
exactly. Yeah.
if there's any other things. But I like it. And I definitely want to participate because I did create one for myself a while ago based on your format. So it's kind of like very similar. I just put in my information, into it.
I feel like we could take some of maybe the entrepreneurship stuff out, like maybe take some of that out and just keep it more like, here's like, keep it more Beachbody related. Like, obviously my story, the income potential, I think is really important, like seeing those slides and like, how do they get started and like the training, but maybe like the law of the harvest stuff, like removing that out of there. I don't know. Cause that's more like training them. That's not really like, that's after they become a coach, like teaching them like the law of the harvest.
Yeah, I agree. It could be like if you look at it, this could be more of like an inspirational sort of like wow factor sort of thing. Like, oh wow, this is actually possible. Sort of like feeling,
Yeah.
To not get into like the nitty-gritty of actually doing it yet.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I can do is I can post that presentation in the team page. And like I said, I'm not like I won't feel offended if you say like, take this out. This is not like, so give me your feedback, like your honest feedback about like what we can take out. And then what I did with each coach that was going to present, I had like I had them have their 1 or 2 slides that they were however many slides they wanted to have for their 5-minute presentation, like a picture of them and a little bit about their story. And then they could screen share on the Zoom and they could talk about their story too. So like they pulled up their screen and it went to them. So I had them do like a few slides, but they did it themselves, not me.
I really liked how you addressed all the objectives, that people have. Like the one that stood out to me was you don't have to know everything about fitness, because that was my huge objective. Because my coach seemed like she knew everything.
Yeah.
So when she kept approaching me, I'm like, whoa, I don't know nothing. All I know is that I'm working out every day for 30 minutes,
Right.
So I like how you addressed, and there were other things in there that you objections that you addressed too. So.
And maybe we could add
I like that.
Maybe we could add some more. That could be something
Mm-hmm.
that, I also, I'm glad you like that. And to spin off that, what I would do is the coaching story, like whoever was like, say Jonna was her coaching story was like, I already make 6 figures. Like, why am I gonna, like she's already like has a full-time job and makes a good income. Why would she do Beachbody? But she kept seeing me posting like, I wanted something more. I wanted something more fulfilling. And that's what drew her in. So I would tell each coach that was presenting, like, what was your objection, and focus on that, because then people can see that objection and like say, your story, like when you would share, then you would focus on like, I didn't really think I could do this because I'm not a fitness expert. And then I realized it's not that, it's just me sharing my journey and recruiting, you know, bringing in or attracting other moms that want something more to do besides just being a mom and going to work or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And connecting with the team and having like that social part of it, like being, you know, connecting with other adult women.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women can relate to that, like moms especially, like not having that like adult interaction, and like this brings that to them. So we can have each little story can be like what's their specific objection, and have them kind of focus on that in their story, like handle it in their story, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So we can kind of
I think that's a good point. Actually, I think that's a great point to kind of like focus on that stopped you until it didn't stop you anymore, you know?
You look awesome, by the way. Like,
thanks. I'm going shopping. I'm going to Napa next weekend, so I'm going shopping for some new clothes.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wow, she looks all fancy today. Where's she going?
Going to Birmingham shopping.
It's like 8:30 in the morning here in Arizona, and I'm like, wow, where's Jonna heading so early? But it's not that early for you, I guess.
No, 10:30.
That's funny because I remember when I saw you dressed up as when you were dressed up as Maleficent. You dressed up as Maleficent, and I was like, damn, she's like so beautiful. Like you looked so amazing. And I'm just like, you're such a beauty. And you're always,
thank you.
You're always so put together, like your clothes and your outfit and everything. I'm like, man, you're just always so nice.
Well, you know, that was one of my objections even to coming on the call was like, I look like a mess. I don't want to come on and look like a mess. And I'm like, well, I'm embracing the mess now. That's fine. So now everybody's like, oh, you look really pretty when I have makeup on.
Even when you look like a mess, you still look pretty. So, I mean, even when you're like, you just have like your regular, whatever, you just worked out, you still look pretty. But, all right, cool. So we should focus on like, what we want to do. Do we want to do this? Obviously, it's already the beginning of March, so we should probably do it towards the end of March, and we should probably like pick a date soon. Actually, I'm going to be gone. Maybe we could do it right before I leave. So like maybe the 23rd, a Monday. The 23rd is. Are you going on any trips this month, Jonna?
Just this coming weekend, a week from now. And then I'll be around for the whole month of March.
Okay, so maybe we could plan it for, I mean, I'm going to be leaving.
So that would work for me. The end of March works for me.
Okay, I mean, we could either do that. I don't think I should do it when I'm coming back because I'll probably be all like, you know, odd, like trying to settle back in. So the 23rd is a Monday. Maybe we could plan to do it at like 8 Eastern Standard Time. I mean, I don't know what else to plan it for. What time would that be for you, Georgia? 5, 6? That's a hard time for you because with family.
But what time, doesn't the time change again soon?
It doesn't until I think the end of spring forward.
Yeah, spring forward. When is that? I mean, Arizona, we never change times, but
right.
So that's why.
March 8th. Okay, so it's actually gonna happen. Did it just freeze on me? Come on. Okay. March 8th, we spring forward. Okay, sometimes my Wi-Fi is not the best here. So yeah, so we will be on daylight savings time then. So that would be, what time is it there right now, Georgia? Oh, is she frozen?
It's 8:40.
8:40. Okay, so
8:40. Am I frozen?
Yeah, now you're okay. So it'll only be an hour difference. So it would be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for you. Would that work?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Would that work for you?
Yes.
All right. So should we
Good.
get that on the calendar then? Should we March
Okay.
3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard? What I'm gonna do is I'm going to have my assistant create an event on Facebook, since we kind of did that for like the launch of MM100, so that you have somewhere to like invite them to. And then maybe I'll see what kind of like content she has, because I'm assuming that Megan, her coach, my assistant works for another, Megan Eagleston, and that's how I ended up finding her. And I'll see what kind of content she already has. If she has some generic content for like a business opportunity, like sneak peeks, she can post into that event, like what we did for MM100, where they're getting like dripped on them, so that you can invite them to the event. Obviously, how I do it is I personally message people. I don't just invite them to this event. I'm like, hey, you know, are you interested in coaching? I think you'd be awesome, especially the people that are currently in my challenge groups, or, you know, even if they're not posting. Because I listened to that National Wake Up Call the other day, and the girl that was just, I forget what her name is. She's amazing. She's like number 3 in the company right now or something. She's built like a huge business. She's doing awesome. She initially was one of those challengers that never posted in the challenge group. She's like, yeah, I was doing it kind of. I wasn't really like consistent. And then my coach came to me and said, I think if you had people that were relying on you to be consistent, you would be consistent for them. You know, you should become a coach just to do that. And then she did. And then she invited her best friends. And then her best friends did join her. And she's now one of like the top coaches in the company, just from like the way that her coach approached her. And I was like, man, that's such a good, like, how do people come up with these like amazing ways to approach people? Because I'm always just like, I think you'd make a great coach. Are you interested in hearing more about that? You know, but you got to figure out, so you have to know your people basically and find what it is that, what is the way to, what would be appealing to them. So for her, it was that she would be more accountable to the people that she invited than she was to herself. And then that is what created the accountability for her. And that is what ended up making her such a successful coach, because then when people got started with her, she knew what she needed to do was get them accountable on their own personal journey. And that's why she focuses so much on their own personal journey. And that's why people succeed so much with her, because that's what it's all about. And that's, you know, even how I've seen like how Jana, you're like bringing in new people every single month. And I know it's like your consistency in your stories, how people see you every day doing your workouts, and the way you write, it's always consistent, and you're always just sharing. I haven't been this last week because I haven't been working out, but I'm like, but that's how I used to be, and that's how I attracted you. So, you know, that's obviously what it's all about, is being consistent and sharing on social media. And obviously everything's going more towards stories now than your actual posts. I think as long as you're being consistent every day on stories, then people are going to be seeing you, even if you're not posting every day on your actual feed. So yeah, that's pretty much, that's what I do. I just personally invite them, and then if they get the invite to the event and they start seeing the posts in there, or we could even, maybe I should have her create a group instead of an event, because then we could actually keep that group open, because the event, once it's over, it's over. And then if we're going to do one like every other month or every month, if we do a business meeting, then the people that are in there will see the new one coming up, you know, because they'll still be in the group. We can kind of keep that group going. And then we don't have to keep inviting to the event every single time, you know? So I'll ask my assistant to do that, to create like a, you know, a coach group, and then start and see what kind of content she has that she can post in there. Anything else that we should do?
Or I wonder, I don't know, do you think we could do, or is it too much? Because I don't really know, but a group and an event, only because the group is nice for keeping the people that we get in it. But also the event, like when you create a new event, I feel like do those get more attention?
That's a good idea. Yeah. So then what we can do is we can have the group and we keep the group open, but then we can direct them to the event and have the stuff posting in the event. Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah, just thinking for the future events, because like maybe the first event isn't going to attract somebody, but the people will be in the group, and then they can get invited still to the second event, where the event would pop up as another thing, you know, not just something that they start scrolling past just because they're in a group.
that's a good idea. That's a great idea. All right, I'll have my assistant work on creating a group and creating an event. And then I think if we keep that group, like, you know, we should if we're going to have a group, to keep it kind of a little bit interactive, we should probably have someone go live in there like maybe once a week throughout the month. you know, just kind of like talking something about coaching or whatever, something that happened with them or what, like whenever people are feeling it, because then they'll keep still getting pop-ups from that group. So it'll still remain like active in a little bit.
Yeah. Or we could just commit, like do Thursday, because Thursday's payday. We could do Thursday coach post, you know, in that group.
Yeah, that would be good too. Every Thursday, but just have like can rotate who does it. So like it's not like another thing, you know, like that people have to be doing every day. Like it will be once a week. We rotate who does it, and then you know maybe we could tag each coach in there, and then we all should go in there and comment on it, because that's what's going to boost it up into people's news feeds in the group, so that they'll actually see that group is there. All right, cool. So I'm going to post the presentation in the team page, and then you can take a look at it, give me your feedback. I can edit it, take out some of that, you know, entrepreneurship stuff, and, you know, whatever you feel like, tell me what you feel like I should remove, because I feel like things need to be removed from it. So like what slide should be removed, I really think that it's mostly like the coin operated entrepreneur, like, you know, talking about like the franchise and stuff, like tell me exactly like this, no, because I can reduce it down so that we can really focus more on like the story, my story, and then like the Beachbody story, and then how they get started. That's really what I think.
Yeah, just one note, I liked the additional content that you had gotten from someone about, I can't remember now exactly what it was, but I do remember feeling like initially, like there was a few things in there that was kind of like a scarcity mentality kind of thing, like message, like that's what I thought of when it was like, you know, you're like gonna like lose. I mean, there was a few aspects that was like, wow, those stats are kind of thought provoking, but there was a couple of them where I got like a little turned off when I heard them. So I don't remember what they were, but I'll read through it and see to give a little feedback on that.
Read through it and like send me an email or comment on it and tell me like what slides specifically like need to be taken out, like what parts of it that are really you're not connecting with, because I know that was actually taken from like a Lindsay Matway presentation that she did after people came into the business, not as a business opportunity presentation. So I just took some of it from that. I took some of it from the Beachbody presentation, and some of it was from, I went to the name of that guy, what's his name? I went to that, like, it was like, network marketing professional, the Eric Worre, like network marketing professional weekend event. It was like a personal development seminar, and I took some of that stuff, like the coin operated versus like entrepreneurship. I took some of that from that presentation. So it's kind of like I pieced together a bunch of different things, and I know that it should flow a little better and focus on what we really like, the message that we really want to get across. So don't hold back, because I'm not like, you know, I'm not going to be offended if you say like take this part out or focus on here more. You know, I want it to be like what's important. So I'll post it in the team page. Let me write this, and I'll have my assistant create the event and create the group, and then we'll go from there. And we'll just start inviting to it and create coach sneak peek group and event and post presentation in the team page. Anything else we need to do for now? All right, then. All right, if you think of something else, you can always like message me or post or whatever in the group. Just let me know. And I think that's it for today. So, sound good? Cool.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, thanks a lot. Have fun shopping.
Thank you. All right, talk to you guys later.
Have a good weekend. Bye, ladies.
Bye.